Our next company presenting, our next speakers will come from STIHL. STIHL, one of the many German hidden champions, one of the world market leaders in producing great chainsaws and equipment around chainsaws. And we have Alexander here and Alexander Passaro, who's a leader of digital transformation at STIHL. And we also have Mark Gerber, who leads the IT financial management, the IT controlling. They have quite a bit of a different journey from the existing ITFM landscape to come to sfinx. And with that, I would like to hand over to Alexander and Mark.
Thank you, Andreas. And I think Mark and I will quickly introduce ourselves and then tell a little bit about STIHL and what we do, and then come to our journey about IT service financial management. So I will introduce myself and then hand over to Mark for that. I'm Alexander Passaro. I'm already over 12 years with STIHL, responsible for digital collaboration, but also IT service management, and also since that time responsible for the ServiceNow platform, which is a very important part of our financial journey. So please, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Alexander. My name is Mark Gerber. Sorry for my voice. I'm also recovering from a cold, so therefore I'm going to apologize for that. Yeah, I'm now over 30 years with STIHL now. Currently, I'm in charge of the so-called IT cross-services team. One part of the IT cross-services is the IT financial management as well, and this is why I come into the play. And with the new sfinx application we have introduced, and I'm happy to let's say present our results, what we have so far done with sfinx.
Okay, I will start sharing. Hope you will see it. Can everyone see it?
Not yet, Alex. Still
Think
white. Now, yeah, now we see it.
Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I mean, everyone, I guess, knows our products, or at least heard the sound of our products, because we are producing products for the forest, and I'm quite happy to say that this year is a very special year for STIHL. We are celebrating our 100-year anniversary. So our founder, Andreas STIHL, founded a company in 1926, and the goal was to bring the chainsaw to the forest and make the work there easier. And I think we can consider our brand as a very innovative brand with high quality products and peak performance. So we consider that we are the top selling chainsaw company since 1971. And here a little bit overview in which sectors our products are available. Of course, we are in the forest, as I already mentioned, but also in gardening and in the construction area. And of course, we have the consumer and private sector area where we have blowers, hedge trimmers, mowers, and also cut-off machines. Meanwhile, a very high portfolio in battery products, still producing combustion engines. But similar as in the car industry, we are transforming now more and more to battery products. And of course, this is a challenge because we have there much more competitors. So we have a very clear slogan since 2 years. We want to, and we call that the STIHL Trail 2030. And the question is now, what has this trail, how comes sfinx across that trail? And to explain that, I have to explain a little bit our journey in the area IT service management. So as I said, we use ServiceNow already quite a long time, but the IT service management framework and the ITIL philosophy was not so much in place. So we decided that this is for us a very key initiative, and we started 4 years ago IT service management program. And because this is not done in 1 year, we have been aware that this has to be a journey. And the goal for this journey was a very clear definition that we as IT have been so far seen as a pure cost factor, just providing IT assets for the business. And our self-understanding is that we want to be a business partner for the business. We want to provide solutions and value for the business. To achieve that, IT service management was our clear program to achieve that. So we took ITIL as a base. We shaped it a little bit for STIHL. And on that journey, we defined certain practices, certain responsibilities, certain roles. And very, very important, so far we had no service catalog in place. And that was one goal of our so-called island journey, as you can see here, to achieve a service land before we can really bring the value to the business. And service land means we need a service catalog. We need to define all the services. We need to show the services to the business. And to get that done, as Philip already mentioned in his keynote, we used the TBM model, so the technology business management framework, and clustered our services in these different areas. And you can see at the moment we have a service catalog available with around 132 business services, and also the underlying technical services. And this is our foundation now to get in a better communication with the business. But of course, what we missing is not only the service and the SLA and the service value. We also wanted to really show the business what are the costs behind the service they consume. And there we already had a service financial management tool. That case, it was Apptio, and Mark will explain later a little bit why we don't have it anymore. I was 2 years ago, 2024, at the ServiceNow conference, and had a little talk at a break with Andreas Borchert, and he mentioned that they are just introducing sfinx. And I thought this idea very, very interesting, because sfinx, as we already heard from Wacker, is running on ServiceNow platform. We do our ITSM program on ServiceNow. So combine these two things together sounds for me as a very, very good idea. So I came back from the conference and I talked to Mark and said, "Hey, Mark, I know you're not so happy with Apptio. I heard about sfinx. How about that? Shall we look at it?" And this was the start of our IT service financial management journey. And that point, I want to hand over to Mark, and he can explain in more detail how we did that.
Okay, thank you, Alex. So I'm going to share by myself. So please let me know if you can see my slides now, or my slide.
It's just taking.
Can you see it?
I think so far it's still mine.
I see our journey to IT service financial management.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. With the first with IBM and Apptio. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So well, yeah. What we were facing, or what was our initial situation. Maybe I explain a little bit around that you have a better understanding from where we came from. Yeah, we had Apptio in place. Yeah, I mean, one of the big players in the IT financial management area besides serviceware. The setup of Apptio have been for the local IT budget planning for our steel companies. Yeah, and also the intercompany charges planning from the headquarters to the steel companies, what we had. There was a little, let's say, um, yeah, problem, so to say, that within Apptio we didn't have the whole IT budget view of the whole world. Yeah, maybe I explain a little bit more in regards of the steel structure. Um, in the world, we have 8 production companies, yeah, spread it all over the world from Brazil, US, China, Switzerland, Austria, Philippines, and Romania. And we have round about 40 to 45 sales companies. Yeah, so these are companies in our main markets all around the world who take care of the local markets what we have. And there you can there you can see we have a lot of address for the intercompany charges, so it is quite a complex construct what we had. So, but as I said, um, due to the license costs, yeah, for Apptio, in former times, we said, oh no, the headquarter IT budget planning has been done separately, yeah, on Excel spreadsheets, everything, and only the local company IT budget planning has been done within Apptio. So this was not a good situation because there wasn't a transparency all over the place and so on. And so therefore, we thought about, okay, what can we do? The second thing was that we had to renew our Apptio contract. Yeah, so our lifetime of the contract went to an end. And of course, within this renewal, we said then, okay, we have to have the whole IT budget of the whole world within one single place. As the colleagues from Wacker told, there is one single point of truth of that. And the third, let's say, parameter, what we defined is that, as Alexander mentioned, the ITSM program started within the meantime. Yeah, and so the IT service management areas have been placed. We have the demand management in place. We have incident management and so on. All the areas, the practices which came from ITSM started, but also including service financial management. So these have been the targets with the renewal of the Apptio contract. Well, then things happen. Yeah, at that time, like you can see here, I say there's always a bigger fish. IBM, took over Apptio at that time. We had the situation that our Apptio instance was a highly steel customized solution. So that means that even within Apptio, only a few people knew about the functionality of our solution. And as the main person here at STIHL left the company at that time, nobody really knew then how our Apptio worked, even the Apptio people. So the decision after all these things has been to search for an alternative solution for IT finance management. And then, as Alexander mentioned, he came around and say, "Hey, Mark, I saw a quite interesting solution on the ServiceNow conference. Maybe we should have a look at it." And as spoken, so we did. There have been parameters for the decision why we did choose sfinx as the tool. Yeah, all other ITSM practices, as mentioned, are running already within the ServiceNow platform. Yeah, this was a very big advantage. Um, we had the IT service catalog available, as Alexander mentioned, in ServiceNow already. And sfinx as this integrated application, as Andreas told us in the beginning of this conference, as a separate workspace available within the App Store on the ServiceNow platform. And also, of course, I mean, the price is also a very important KPI for the decision making. With the IBM takeover of Apptio, the prices went up very much, and basically the licensing we got with the sfinx and the seamless connection between IT financials and IT service catalog within ServiceNow. They have been finally the areas why we did decide to go into the sfinx application adventure, I would say. We knew that sfinx is a quite new product on the market. But in that case, maybe Wacker, they have been more brave than we have been. But I would also say that we, have been brave a little bit, not to build on an existing, already running years by years, well-established platform like Apptio or Serviceware. We said, okay, now let's do it, but to know with all these different challenges we might face. Okay, then we thought about, okay, what would be our journey, and this is why this presentation we call it our journey to IT service financial management, and we decided for three steps so-called approach. So the first approach, the first step, what we did last year. And you see always the July numbers here, July 25, 26, 27. This is because the service financial management within STIHL is very highly linked to the annual planning process. And the annual planning process within STIHL starts always in July each year. So this is why these are our milestones within these three steps here. In the first step, was, let's say, quite easy. We want to replace Apptio, with its functionalities of budget planning and cross-charge planning. And this was the first extension of the scope, but with global IT budget, also with the headquarter budget. And what can I say? We finally did it, of course. So we did replace Apptio. We took the different accounts out of Apptio, and rebuilt them within sfinx. We named them the same. They still had the same names, so that our external companies can remember. Okay, I know this name from last year, so that have been quite easy then. And within this first step, we trained the whole world. Every 50 steel companies they are using sfinx, and this was quite a challenge. To train all the people how to use sfinx, to tell them the philosophy and everything. But it went well so far. Then the next step, the second step. This is the one we are currently working on, and this is for sure the main step for this, or within this whole journey. On one hand side, we have this financial areas, as Philip also told us in his presentation before, and on the other side we have the service catalog. And now what we are now currently doing is these two worlds bringing together. So this is now the challenge we are facing. we have a lot of services in our service catalog. And currently, we had 70 single services we had to cross charge, and then you can imagine 70 services multiplied by 50 companies. Wow, this is a lot of work, with each line, because mainly every company is consuming mainly every service here. And the challenge now is, and this is why this is here, we are now creating so-called service bundles. So that would mean things that really belong together and doesn't make sense to make it separate. And these service bundles we will connect to the IT service catalog, based on the TBM structure, and also including the cost determination. What we do so that we can take the costs, what we have in sfinx, on the so-called resource coins. This is the, let's say, technical carrier of the costs, and to, let's say, put them together with the service and service offerings out of the service catalog. Besides that, we also renew our framework agreement. This is the contractual part of it. The framework agreement is the basis for the intercompany charging. And with our legal department, we could reach a solution that with the contractual part is very generic based. You will not find words within the contract in what SLAs do we offer, what services do we offer. Within the framework, we always link to this information. In that case, we link to the IT service catalog, and we link to the SLAs within ServiceNow. So that would mean the IT service catalog and parts of it, they really become, let's say, critical component, from a legal point of view, within all these intercompany charges. So, and this is what we are doing now. So we have a target date, as set with the annual planning for 2027. We need to be ready by the end of June this year. So we are currently working on that. And finally, the third step, what we will have, this is we are gonna include the actuals, into sfinx. Here you have to know we have SAP running, for all our finance parts, for all our finance numbers, indicators, and so on. We have the SAP Analytics Cloud as our general planning platform for everything in regards of budget planning, of project planning, of cost center planning, and so on. And here we need to have interfaces then, because this is something what really gains, let's say, how can I say, profits for everyone, so that there is a technical integration of plan and actual, and to make all the so-called comparisons. And finally, of course, we want to introduce out of our sfinx universe KPIs for the IT management. So that would mean I want to give our CIO, let's say, at least a monthly view. How about our cost situation? Not only from a cost center point of view, but also from a service point of view. So which services, which service bundles are currently struggling, because of higher costs or other components, and so on. And this is what we are going to do within the next step. So let's go back a little bit to the phase 2, what we are currently working on. Here you see our general targets, objectives, what we have. This is the new structure, what we are going to define for chargeable services, and derived from the STIHL IT service catalog. So maybe some of you know Apptio. There we have the so-called ACCs, the Apptio accounts. We are going to replace them. then determine the costs, directly from the cost center planning and the service planning in sfinx. So this is what we're going to do, and of course provide more transparency, within direct cost. There was a question before to Wacker if you could drop your IT costs with implementing of sfinx. My answer would be you will not directly reduce IT costs using sfinx, but with using sfinx, you can gain the transparency where the different costs problems are laying, and then you can react on that. So I mean, this is one of the biggest things what we have, and this is our target. Finally, and as shown here, drill down of cost and understandable service documentation. So the people, they have to understand what they are paying for. When we recharge millions of euros to our other companies, they ask us for what I'm paying for, and this has to be transparent. They have to know for what they are paying, and this is what we will reach with this step. And of course, input support the further development of the general planning process. We want to simplify the models what we had in the past, measures and the necessary task, to have all these different parts in the planning process. So finally, and this is why I put this picture here, to put all the parts of the burger, to one single product, to one single service. So people, when they consume, they are not really interested in burger patty, bagel, and so on. They order a burger, and so this is what they're paying for, and this is why we are going these steps now here. Well, I think this have been our idea of presenting you our journey to IT service financial management, and I hope I could explain that and you understood what we are talking about. And then thank you so far.
Well, thank you, Mark. I'm back online. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mark and Alexander. Great presentation. I really like the burger and I also like the fish. Didn't know that you're such an artist. Yeah. And of course, STIHL has been very brave to point out that that's not that big of a difference if you're number one customer or number two customer. And I remember when we were discussing your kind of like compelling event with Apptio contract, etc., and that you actually, I remember you waived the proof of concept after talking to Günther from Wacker, who has done mirroring of the systems and a big proof of concept. So it was great, and I'm great that you're happy. And we have two questions, but before a comment, I said in the beginning that we won't talk about tool and implementation and pricing, but you mentioned you came up with this. We went to the global IT budget, which was a big difference, and that I have to explain. When we were designing sfinx and building sfinx, we had internal discussions. So how much should that thing cost and what should be the metric of sfinx? And I had some ideas and others had ideas, but actually my colleague Philip from Alex, who presented our keynote, he had the best idea. From his 15 years of seeing Apptio in the market and seeing what they did. So to explain what Mark mentioned here is that Apptio always had in the past, not sure if that's still the case, but that what most customers have, they basically said, you pay me for what you manage. So companies put part of their budget into Apptio and manage that. And if you want to put more part in there, you pay more money. And that's why not everybody was using it, and you used it only for the headquarters, etc. So, and Philip suggested then, let's do it differently. We want that everybody potentially can work with sfinx, maybe look at it, transparency, you said, we see this all the time. The business unit wants to know, why is this laptop 451 euros per month? I can buy one at Saturn or Amazon, and then basically that's one time 450. Of course, there are tickets, there's a support and all this. You have probably mobile access, etc. So to be able to explain this is very important. So everybody should look at that. This is why we price things very differently. We have only one price model, which says, okay, what is your IT budget? That is the price. Everybody can use it. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay, two questions here. Do you use technology business management framework, the controlling framework? Do you use that full-fledged, and do you also use benchmarks?
Maybe I start
Yeah.
answering that.
Yes.
I mean, we shaped the TBM a little bit for our need, but it's mainly TBM. And the idea was really to be able to benchmark in the future, to have the same, let's say, standards as other companies, and to see if we are maybe are paying too much cost for certain database services or cloud services or whatever, or a business service in total. So yes, the idea is benchmarking. We are not there at the moment, but with the TPM structure, we think we can easily be comparable to others.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Another question from a gentleman I know personally, who's actually a big expert on ITFM himself. I leave the name away, but he asked, Steve mentioned the customizations of Apptio. By moving to sfinx, were you able to get rid of this kind of customization, or did you have to reproduce them?
No, we really gained a strategy to have this greenfield approach. Yeah, we really took care of not copying what we did within Apptio, and we need the same thing within sfinx. No, this was a clear idea to say no. We are going to change our internal processes in regards of IT financial management. We want to be on a standard level, and not, as said, do the same mistake what we did with Apptio later on. Of course, we had some adjustments within sfinx, especially in the intercompany charging model, in the cross charging module. It's the same like Wacker told, that they have a Wacker cross-charging module and we have a STIHL cross-charging module. This is something what has been customized, but no copy of the old Apptio thing.
Yeah. Thank you for that answer. Just to comment on that, Günther and Katharina mentioned that there was a customized chargeback. In the beginning, we actually thought chargeback shouldn't be part of the standard, because that's really different with every customer. Also with all the customers who are not presenting here today or present maybe next year, chargeback is different, but there are similarities, so we have it now in the standard, but it's something we adjust. It's not a heavy customization, and as said before, it's a ServiceNow platform. This is quite open, and you have ServiceNow people in your team who can do things, so possible lock-in effects and others are a lot less here. See you later in the panel discussion. Thank you very much. And